boxes and throwing out old memories. Oh, something about this just doesn't sit quite right with me. Oh, we were just kids when we moved in. So much has changed since then. I know that I should be happy, but I just feel hollow again. Just like an empty apartment filled with old ghosts. Nothing turned out like we thought it was likely to go. Ooh, everything's gone and it's crystal clear. It's time to move on, but my heart is still here in this empty apartment, right back where we started. I guess somebody new will replace me and you in here soon. Oh, I wonder if they'll feel the music we felt in this room. Oh, just this piano's all that's left. Echoes of love songs play in my head. They spin around and around and the cycle starts over again. Just like an empty apartment filled with old ghosts. Nothing turned out like we thought it was likely to go.
違いがわからない。これだな。どうしようかな。長尺いっぱいある。これのどこから選べばいいんですか？むっちゃある。
単に分厚いやつとかあるんで、それとかじゃなければ。
はい。ああ。
それ先使いたいな。1本じゃ専用で持ってきて4口ぐらい作ってきました。これがね、こっちにあるの。
Down these days I got a never-ending list of things to do, but I still like to stay up late and waste the afternoon. Could it be in my genetics? Born for the resistance? Was I made to be a mystic? My blood that feels the itch. That's why the breeze feels appealing. Can it lift me from this feeling? I'm never feeling good enough. I'm over this. Da da dee da da dee da 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 dee da da dee da da dee da da. I'm over this. Da da dee da da dee da 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 dee da da dee da da dee da da. I'm still wondering how long it takes to finally find my purpose. It can't just be monotony and living on the surface. Could it be in my genetics? Born for the resistance? Was I made to be a mystic? My blood that feels the itch. That's why the breeze feels appealing. Can it lift me from this feeling? I'm never feeling good enough. I'm over this. Da da dee da da dee da 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 dee da da dee da da dee da da. I'm over this. Da da dee da da dee da 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 dee da da dee da da dee da da. Take me up to Neverland, swimming in the clouds, having no regrets. Waiting for the night sky to glisten on the ocean, chasing pirate ships. Take me up to Neverland, swimming in the clouds, having no regrets.
おー。
Hanging with the lost boys, wondering if I'll ever go home again. I'm over this. Da da dee da da dee da 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 dee da da dee da da dee da da. I'm over this. Da da dee da da dee da 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 dee da da dee da da dee da da. I know it'd be more than a moment,
それなんていう道具ですか？
but would we be a waste of time?
ベビーサンダー。
I know I like it when you hold me, but do I wanna call you mine?
大体はみんなこういうの。
I swear I'm not trying to hit you, but I promise I'm not lying. I don't know what I want, and I swear I've been weighing these pros and cons, but I'm still nowhere closer to saying what we're not. Do I like you, or do I like the attention?
たいな。
ブラブラをもうちょっと抑えようってことは下になんか敷いておくとかですか？
洗面で止まってここが一番重たいから余計に
重心の上に来ちゃってる。
ほらもうこれね関係なしにもこれ入れちゃってるので
I will sing of my Redeemer and his wondrous love to me. 'Cause on the cruel cross he suffered from the curse to set me free. Sing, oh sing of my Redeemer. With his blood he purchased me. On the cross he sealed my pardon, paid the debt and made me free. You made me free. I will tell the wondrous story, how my lost estate to save. In his boundless love and mercy, he the ransom freely gave. I will praise my dear Redeemer, his triumphant power I'll tell, how the victory he giveth over sin and death and hell. Sing, oh sing of my Redeemer. With his blood he purchased me. On the cross he sealed my pardon. How will I hide my eyes for you? Down the hall the kettle squeals, golden silk sheets in a golden room. My golden hour eyes for you. 4 o'clock coffee and a cigarette, where 59th Street turns into a bridge. Have we still plans to meet at the Frick? If so, I'll kill myself out of bed. Cotton candy lie under a cotton candy sky. And as you fuss with the key to your room and graduate 2 Street from the stoop, I will walk up Park Avenue, wondering how I'll hide
days at 3 a.m. Spinning threads of gold laying on my bed with your legs bent off the edge. How will you hide those eyes from me when the walls are listening? We will be standing on a vacuumed tier under the luster of an old chandelier.